Welcome to Broadstairs Life, where I speak with the people who make Broadstairs such a special place. Welcome to Broadstairs Life, and I'd like to welcome Davies OBE joining us today. So we're going to have a little chat about the Broadstairs and St Peter's Lawn Tennis Club. So, Peter, thanks for doing this today. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I currently chair Broadstairs and St Peter's Lawn Tennis Club. Mm-hmm. I might add that we don't have any lawn anymore.
No.
We are all clay courts.
Yeah.
I've not been doing this particular role that long.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, really, I'm still in the first year as the chair.
Yeah.
I held other roles on the committee. I've been an auditor for the club for several years.
Yeah.
And I'm also a trustee of the club as well. So I've always had an attachment.
But you've always had like a big community involvement anyway. I mean, obviously because of your previous career.
Yes. I run a business now. We're sitting here in those offices in the middle of Broadstairs. But at the same time, yes, I did 30 years in the fire service. Yeah. And in that time...
And was that all in Thanet?
Mainly, yeah. I mean, I like all firefighters, you start at the firefighter level, and then you sort of gradually work your way up to wherever you want to go. In those days, you tended to only get promoted when you were shoved off somewhere else, and then you came back again, usually to the jobs that you didn't really want. Yeah. But no, I went down the Channel Tunnel when it was being constructed,
really?
So I was underground for a while. And then I sort of worked my way back via Deal as a station commander over there. Yeah. Then I ended up being the station commander at Thanet, and sort of, and then eventually sort of did some work with the retained stations around the southeast. And then all of a sudden, snap, 30 years gone, and you step into retirement.
I have to mention that you do have an OBE. Can you just explain briefly how you got that?
Well, firstly, with a massive surprise, and I think probably like yourself, having an MBA, don't you? You get a letter, and at that point you can't tell anyone anything, that's probably the most difficult thing to do is to share it. In my case, with my wife, and that was it.
That's all I did.
I just couldn't tell anyone else.
And you don't know who's put you forward.
No, absolutely not.
You do later, obviously.
Yeah, it starts to come out the woodwork a bit, but the whole process is 2 or 3 years earlier.
Who did you get it from?
Princess Royal.
You got Princess Royal?
And it was at St James's Palace, which is a bit rare because they were decorating the Buckingham Palace.
Really? So I got mine at the Palace with, as he was, Prince Charles.
Oh, well, yes. I have to say, it was an incredible day out. Oh, I mean, it was so much more than one could expect, really. And my wife and 2 children came, and we had a great day. Yeah. But that I think primarily, the citation was for charitable services. Probably most of that was with the firefighters charity. Yeah. Sort of working my way up through various positions, ultimately ending up being the chair.
And that's something that you really enjoyed, obviously, because I just feel that from you, that's very important part of your life.
I think I suppose, dare I say, it's just part of my life. Yeah. And still is.
30 years in the fire service is a big chunk of a life, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And then when I left, I suppose my career with the firefighters charity, which obviously is all voluntary, was just starting to sort of go from that sort of, that sort of operational sort of style over to, sort of more into being a trustee and ultimately becoming the chair of the actual charity itself, UK-wide. Brilliant. And I still hold on to the chair of the corporate income, which is basically the trading company. Right. So it's a grand title.
So you're still doing things on.
Yeah. And then and on top of that, we do a little bit. What we try to do a little bit with the local organisations as well, which obviously count big time.
which is good.
Yeah. So
Which is good.
the
So-
last.
So now, your tennis club.
Yes.
And what's your position that you hold there, Peter?
Well, now it's chair.
Oh, you are the chair now.
Yeah, I am the
right.
chair. Yeah,
Okay.
I held a couple of sort of other positions. One was an auditor, so we sort of just generally sort of oversaw the accounts, which was always
Which is important, isn't it?
of course,
it's
but
got to be done.
always in perfect order because
Of course.
we've got a very good accountant that does all that work. Occasionally a bit too good, and we have to try and extract the money a little bit. But hey ho, that's no different to most clubs, and is always good for the club.
Yeah.
And I've been a sort of trustee for the club for quite a while.
And a keen tennis player.
And yes, I do play tennis regularly. I play social tennis and competitive tennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think that's the good thing about our club is that we have those choices for people. So yeah, I play. Dare I say it now? Usually in an over something, so it's over 45s, over 60s now, and but the more polite way of saying they're vets and super vets, So do a bit of travelling around with those.
Good.
And then in the week we play social tennis. Sometimes to a sort of very social standard, sometimes to a bit more of a competitive standard.
Of
Yeah.
course. And is there a big social side to the club as well?
Oh yeah. I think that's the nice thing about the club is that it's for everybody.
Yeah.
It is it's a private members club, but it's open to the public as well.
Yeah.
It's open to guests, and it's open to every ability.
That's something you saying that is quite important because obviously, what age do people start there?
4.
4. Imagine the racket is probably bigger than them, isn't it?
We work with we have a coaching partner, Infinity Tennis, and that company, that guy, David, runs an incredible organisation right through the southeast, and Broadstairs is just one of many. He's actually recently taken on the coaching on the public courts as well, which are through Thanet District Council, which had some money invested in them last year and the year before to resurface them. So Thanet's got some really, really good tennis courts, but they're pay as you go, and they serve a purpose. That if you've got a partner or you want to sort of set up doubles, then go out and find yourself 3 other players and
come along.
But when you're at a club like Broadstairs, you don't have to do that. You just turn up on your own, and you'll get a partner, or you'll
find somebody there.
Because there's always people of all different standards, and even if you haven't played, then we cope with that as well. We've got coaching for beginners, we've got coaching for people that want to return to tennis. We call that rusty rackets.
Yeah, I thought I'd be one of those.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I mean, I'm amazed every time I go up there. There's always some group of people, and we've recently last year started walking tennis as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's become very successful.
Yeah. And do you have groups come in? I mean, I'm sort of thinking about. Do you ever have people who've got certain disabilities as well that can come along and have a go?
Yeah, I it would be very difficult to say that we could probably cope with wheelchair tennis because they are clay courts.
Right.
And although I suppose it's something that actually we need some people in wheelchairs to come up and have a go.
And test the courts.
And test the courts. Yeah. So the offer's open,
No, that's
but
great.
I'm not sure. I don't. It's a particular type of surface with. It's like a thick carpet with a level of artificial clay on the top, so it's probably not going to be suitable. But certainly, if it's an accessible club as best as we can make it. But I would say that if there are people out there with certain disabilities, that I'm sure that we could talk to David from Infinity, and he will know where those people could play, because not everybody's got clay courts. A lot of people have got hard courts, and they will be accessible, through the double gates and what have you.
That's what it's about. It's like you say, it's making it available for all as well, isn't it?
Exactly.
So you get the young kids come along, the young children.
Yeah.
And how do they start them off? I mean, do they come along with their own idea, ready? They're ready to go.
The Infinity have 4 levels. You know, they start, I can't remember the exact ages, but there's like 4 to 7, 7 till 9, or whatever. You know, and it goes on right up until they're a sort of teenager.
Yeah.
And the idea really is to start, learning how to hold a racket, learning how to, sort of throw a ball. There's a lot of ball work without the racket. And of course, they don't play on full-size courts. They've got smaller. We divide the courts up into half or quarter even, and then they have small nets. And
I
then
never
parents
realised all
come
that
along.
happens.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, especially now, I'm sure if you would have gone up there this morning, we would have seen their summer camps going, and there's 10, 20, 30. I mean, we've just recently had an open day, and we had nearly 300 over the day, children and their parents come along. Because they go into the schools, they teach people the basics, and then, they'll come along to the club, and all of that starts to get formalised.
Though, when you see young children coming along who want to play.
Yeah.
That must...
Well, it's good in one respect until they get a bit older, and then they start to play you, and then you think,
is that they beat you?
I should have had some lessons, because the style they play is incredible.
Something else I was going to ask. So you are a popular club here. Now, when you have Wimbledon on and Queen's, do you see an influx of people?
We get some interest.
Because they sort of see it and they go, I think I'll give that a go.
Yeah, we get some interest.
Yeah.
I think we're constantly getting people turn up. I mean, we have social tennis, Monday morning, Wednesday morning, Friday morning, and Sunday morning. And all of those is pretty much an open invite for anybody to turn up. Now, it's better probably if people turn up to one of the more structured courses, like the Rusty Rackets, or they come along with a friend, just to sort of get some sort of continuity between ball and racket. But ultimately, as a club, we will welcome at any level for people who don't come to those social.
So people
tennis.
shouldn't be shy of coming.
No.
Because you're not going to be embarrassed, are you?
I can remember playing at Broadstairs Tennis Club when I was in my teens, and in those days you had to be played in. You couldn't just turn up and play. You already had to be quite good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not sure how I got in, but I did. but at the end of the day, there's nothing like that. It is a club, and it is competitive, and tennis is competitive. But at the same time, you can walk up there on a Monday morning or a Wednesday morning, and half the people are playing, and the other half are sitting on the chairs outside, having a chat, making a cup of tea. People bring along homemade cakes and so on. Oh, of course, yeah. It's, as I say, when I mean social, it is social. But on the other hand, we've got another group of people over here that want to hit the ball at 80 miles an hour.
Have you had people who've joined and have gone on to become good players? Yeah,
we have. I mean, I wouldn't say Wimbledon standard, but we've certainly had people that have started off as juniors and they've gone into Kent competitions and greater and got very high and even won those competitions. Really? I mean, this last couple of weeks, Deal lawn tennis or warmer wall tennis just had their open, and
that's by the castle.
It is. I mean, it's like a mini Wimbledon over there, and they have this sort of event every year. And we had 2 of our juniors that had come through the ranks. They won. They played and won one of the doubles competitions. And then we had another couple, husband-wife couple, that won the over 45s mixed doubles for the 2 years in a row.
Wow! So
we've got some pretty good players over there.
So what facilities have you actually got at the club? How many courts do you have?
So we have 6 courts,
right,
all clay, and we've got LED floodlighting. And that's free. So when you become a member, there's no extra money to pay for playing on the day or using the court lights. It's all part of the subscription.
Wow.
And then we have the clubhouse itself. And I suppose that's the bit that's probably in need of, some improvement, or probably, if we're really blunt about it, demolishing and starting
rebuild,
again. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's been there since 1939, but I have to say it's been there a long time, and it's starting to show signs of, decay. And I think it's one of those things on the list. We're a club that, we've never really gone for big grants. So everything we've done is save the money up over the years, and when you put 6 new clay courts in and floodlights, you're talking hundreds of thousands, we're not talking about tens, it's a lot of money.
It's a big commitment, isn't it?
It's a massive commitment. And when you think the whole club is run by volunteers, is supported by its members, we don't get any support.
How many members do you have?
Around a couple of hundred, sort of adult and junior. So it's not a big club. So it's probably a little bit more than that.
So if people are members, they pay a subscription fee, obviously.
Yeah.
But then, if say maybe a rusty player turns up and says, "Right, do I just pay a fee to use the court?"
Two ways you can do that. If you want to come along and just play quietly with a friend or friends, you can go online. You can go through the LT have a website called Club Spark.
Yeah.
So you go into Club Spark, you basically look for Broadstairs Tennis Club, and it allows you then to book the courts for yourself. I think £10 for an hour, so it's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money. No.
You get the key code and you play on there. And as I say, there's often people. We reserve courts 5 and 6 specifically for the public, so they can come on pretty much any time.
Yeah.
The only time there's a restriction is if it's social tennis for the club, because generally all of them are booked out. But it's so as a member of the public, you can come on and play as you go. If you felt that you wanted tuition, or you wanted to pick up that racket that you've still got in the shed from donkeys years ago, and if it doesn't need restringing.
My one was an old Wilson racket.
Well, there you go.
Many years ago. I always remember it, because I used to play a lot of tennis when I was younger.
Is it still wooden, or is it something beyond that?
It's probably disintegrated by now, because that was way
so
back.
It's probably got a bit of woodworm in it.
It's probably worse.
There's
than
always
that.
people that will loan you a racket. I think
Sure.
I carry at least 3 in my bag, and they're there for anyone. Yeah. But you can pretty much go on to Infinity Tennis's website, and you can switch on Broadstairs, and basically you can pick a course to come along and do a bit of rusty rackets or a bit of walking tennis, and if you like it, you can join.
Exactly.
And you can join as an individual member. You can join as a family, and if you can join as out of county, not so much out of county, but sort of a country. I think the 15 miles away, and you get it a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And obviously there's various grades for the younger players as well. So we pretty much covered everything.
I think you have.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, you're in a nice location, aren't you? Where you are, as we touched on before we started. We said about the fact that you've got the tennis club. You've got the rugby club, which are doing exceptional things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've got Victoria and the Pavilion, the Zone Youth Club.
Which is coming on big time.
That's a phenomenal thing.
Well, as I say, I can look out the bedroom window and I can see it.
Yeah.
And there's always activity there.
Yeah.
And I think again...
Do you all complement each other?
Well, it's a good question, and it's I think it's something to look at. We need to sort of talk to these organisations more and see whether there's a possibility that we might be able to help each other.
Day,
absolutely,
where you're all together and you can say, go and do a bit of tennis, do a bit of rugby, go down there and have a nice biscuit, a cup of tea, and play with the kids.
I'm not sure the rugby players want a biscuit and a cup of tea.
Probably not.
I know where you're coming from.
It's sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah, and it gets everybody together.
Yeah. I mean, we are starting to change things a bit up there. I mean, this year we normally have a family barbecue, which is on a certain day, and then at the same time we'll have our open competition, which brings all those players that have worked their way through to the finals. And we've always had that as a separate day. Well, this year we thought we'd try it as a combined day, family barbecue, open competition, finals on the same day. Wow, it worked a treat. The weather was great, but it brought so many more people, all the members brought food and salads and cakes.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
This is about everybody getting together, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's a common interest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, no, it's and you know, and then next year we're talking about, instead of just having our open day finals and the barbecue, we're now saying, well, let's have our junior finals on the same day as well, which means that not only will we have the first 3 courts with all our open, we'll have the other 3 courts for all the juniors, so that will bring all their parents along.
I was about to say that brings mum, dad, auntie, uncle, brother, sister.
Yeah, and fingers crossed. You know, I'm having a bit of a discussion with Alexis over at Canterbury at the moment, who've pretty much committed to a little bit of sponsorship. You know, on those days, you know, put a car on site, put up a couple of banners up or whatever, and hey ho, you know, we might get a few cups and shields paid for. You know, you never know.
I always had. I mean, I used to run a national charity, and I always had the thing that if you don't ask, you will never know.
Oh, yeah, believe me, I know that one.
You know that one. You do a lot of asking, don't you?
You have to do it, but
and if you don't, you'll sit there and think, I should have done that.
Yeah. You can't hold back in charity and non-profits.
And you cannot be embarrassed to ask.
No, definitely not. No.
Because it's important. And it's for the members and for the new members that will come and the youngsters that will come along who will get something from it.
It's about the volunteers generally as well, you know, the people who put their hand up to say, you know, yes, I can do it. And I've done it slightly differently over the years, and you know, whereas you know, I used to be the chair of the Thanet Squash Club as well, and that was one sort of quite largest committee when everyone had a reference, but it was too much work for some people. You know that it was, you know, that in the end they would sort of come away from it because it was, you know, basically stressing them out. Yeah. So what we've done now is, you know, we've got a smaller committee at the tennis club, and you know, they've all got references. You know, some of those are around compliance, some are around adult tennis, some are around maintenance.
Because everybody's got a skill set, haven't they?
Exactly. So we just created some subcommittees now with not main committee members, but people that have put their hand up. But as you say, they've got the skills, and if they've got the skills, generally they enjoy doing it.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the bit that's.
And being a volunteer is very satisfying.
Yes, yeah.
It really is.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know where you were coming from.
I have to say, my wife says, "Why did you say yes?"
It's a little, I mean, it's very difficult sometimes to say no.
Yeah. Well,
because you know you could make a difference.
Well, I think that's the thing, is that, you know, you're saying yes because you understand what's needed, and that's perhaps where you need to start talking about resilience a bit. And although I've said yes, and I'm hoping there's a few committee members, and I hope there's a few members out there saying, you know, look, we'll follow in your footsteps. Yeah. So resilience is important, you know, and as much as, you know, everybody's grateful for everything the volunteers do, and the committee members especially. Yes, there has to be some scope now for people moving into those places, or at least assisting those people.
Exactly.
You know, so the volunteering is good. But
I think the main thing is, though, you've got a club where people come along, they enjoy what they do.
Yeah, yeah.
And they encourage others.
Exactly.
To come along.
Yeah.
And you're covering different age groups. It's not just one age group of people, is it? Really, it's a variety of people.
It's not just the people that join either. I mean, through the summer, I mean, the schools of English. You know, we've had partnerships with them where they've been using the park for various activities, and then we've you know, sort of spoken to them. They've spoken to us, and they're now playing tennis as well as part of those activities. You know, so
it develops.
Yes, yeah. So it's taking in a wider community of Broadstairs, those that don't live here but just visit. Yeah, and we get visitors as well. People come onto the website and they just wander up and say, "Look, you know, we're on holiday.
Can we use the
courts?" Yeah, we generally have to sort of try and make sure there's a few rackets.
And I think the other nice thing is it's another very positive part of Broadstairs, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, we've got lots of sporting facilities here. We've got lots of community events that go on here. And so the tennis club is another part of it, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah.
Brings people together.
And it does. But, you know, there's a lot of there's a lot of families go up, a lot of husbands and wives, a lot of partners go up together, and to be honest, that just brings families closer together. Well, maybe not so much on court, because I've heard a few rows.
I can imagine, yeah. You're not getting any dinner tonight, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think there is a
you can walk home.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that, but it's all in good laugh.
I like that, actually.
But yeah, no, we as I say, we have competitions, we have mixed ability competitions.
Yeah.
We're now looking at how we can integrate the younger players into the more adult competitions so that they don't feel excluded.
No.
I'm not quite sure who's the ones that are going to be excluded. I think once they start, the adults will probably be the ones that are going to go back to where they were.
Yeah.
But no, it's good for Broadstairs.
Yes.
It's good for Broadstairs.
Yeah.
And you see these people out, and we have like a Christmas party down the pavilion every year.
Oh, really?
That brings people together outside of the tennis community. Sometimes you don't even recognise them, because the only time you ever see them is a t-shirt and shorts
I was about to say,
or whatever.
And is there a dress code at your club? For playing tennis?
Only to wear some clothes.
Handy,
Nothing. I think if you go to Warmer and their competition, they prefer you to wear all whites, which is great, because it's such a Wimbledon competition. It's so similar. But no, we don't look at anything like that. And
come along.
We just make sure that please wear a hat and some sunscreen in the hot weather.
Yeah, and especially what we've been through this summer so far.
It's amazing how many people play through that heat. It's absolute. But that's the other good thing about those courts, is that you can play in the rain on them as well. On our old hard courts, you had to give up straight away. Now it can be drizzling.
So, what you said about the court, I've got to ask this question. That just come in my mind. Grass court, hard court, clay.
What's the difference? Well,
for anybody out there that doesn't know, because I don't know, so I've had to ask the question.
Well, I suppose we've had the whole transformation, because we were grass courts.
Yeah.
So we had, I think it was six hard, 6 grass. I can remember, and those grass were open to the public back in the late 70s and the 80s. Problem with grass is it needs maintaining, and the other problem with grass is that it's not 12 months of the year. You can only play on it through the summer months. Yeah. So it's an expensive type of surface.
Right.
And if you're a volunteer club, then you're never really going to get the amount and level of volunteer service. And if you've got to pay for it, well, the subscriptions start to go up. So there's quite a bit against grass as a club surface.
Yeah.
We then sort of went to 9 courts. Although we've got space for 12, we've actually given 3 back to the park.
Oh, really?
So we've got 3 that's now an overgrown grass courts, which is now pretty much a designated nature reserve, which is okay.
Yeah,
It serves its purpose. Yeah. It's part of our very long lease with the council. So, in the future, if we get a really good benefactor or sponsor, then we can do something with those courts. Yeah. Yeah. So then we went. You had hard courts, pretty much tarmac, which are good. They were a good surface, but started to show their age. Yeah. But they're also not so good for older people, because, your joints, whether it be your knees or your hips, you do tend to start to ache a bit after a couple of hours playing.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. So for all sorts of reasons.
It's a very physical game, isn't it?
It can be, but, there is...
But then again, it's how you...
Yeah. There's people over there that, just play. It's amazing by not moving very far how many times you can get the ball back over the net. It seems the ball seems to attract them. It's incredible. It's quite frustrating as well sometimes. They move. But then so we went from hard courts to clay courts. Yeah. We transitioned that over a period of about 3 or 4 years because of the cost. We did 3, then we did another 3. And the surface for clay is essentially a thick carpet layer which has been laid over our hard courts. Yeah. And then it's a level of sand on top.
Oh, really?
But the difference is incredible to your joints, and the play is, I just think, is so much more enjoyable as well. And a lot of the teams
I
that
always
come,
wondered why
yeah.
the different courts.
Well,
So-
because I play in teams. We go round the county and beyond, and there's a sort of a balance between courts. Some of them are clay, some are still hard courts, but not so many. And then there's various other forms of sort of surfaces that people have chosen to have. But personally, I love the artificial clay.
Yeah.
It needs topping up with sand every so often. You
But
sweep them
it
after the
works.
games, but it works for everybody.
Yeah.
And visiting clubs love it. People like coming to Broadstairs, not just because it's Broadstairs, because we got clay courts.
Of course, yeah. But it's still Broadstairs.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many players leave the club and say, "Oh, we're going down to the beach now to have a drink."
Oh, really?
Yeah. They,
Well, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of inland clubs. There's sort of Tunbridge Wells,
So,
Maidstone.
what would you say to encourage somebody to come along who's not played for a long time or has never played, but just thinks, "Do you know what? I'm going to give it a go"? Because I know now you've got there's paddle.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
big thing that's taken off.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
paddle is good. I mean, you speak to a lot of people. Paddle's good, but it's not the cheapest sport in the world.
No.
And it is one of those turn up and play and go. But then we've got one at Hayne Road now, and I've not been there myself, but I understand there's a good social element to it as well. So we'd never not paddle because it's an up and coming sport.
In relation to Broadstairs St Peter's Club, what would you say to somebody?
If you want to play tennis,
Or
then
try.
yeah, if you want to try and then play, or try or give up,
Yeah.
But even if you try, there's other forms of tennis. As I say, if you feel that you want to go that whole hog and start playing tennis, then there's as I say, there's two ways you can do it. You can pay and play and turn up with a racket and some balls with a friend.
Yeah.
Probably someone that has played a little bit, knock the ball around, have a little run around, just to get the feel of it, just to sort of make sure that racket can connect to the ball, and get a bit of coordination. I think probably if you're a beginner, then probably the best thing is to go straight onto the Infinity website, book up some, courses for beginners. They're not expensive by any means, and I'm not. I hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot here, but I think there's like a refund if you have a course and then come and join.
Yeah, you'll find out later.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I might be told off by the
Yeah.
treasurer now, but I'm sure there's something that allows some refund that if you join within a certain period. But if you play before and you've just given up, and you've just said, "Oh, I've not done it for 10 years or more." And your racket's still in some sort of reasonable order, but even if it isn't, there's plenty of rackets up the club. Then I would say rusty rackets. You're joining in with half a dozen, 10 people in a similar situation who just want to get out there and hit a ball. And what the coaches will do is put that into some sort of order for you, and then that progresses to. Usually the coach is saying to you, "Look, why don't you go and try some social tennis?" And the daytime social tennis is very mixed ability. It's all good tennis, that people will have proper games and they'll enjoy it. But it's not always going to be served at 70, 80 mile an hour, so you can be
probably a good thing.
Yeah. So you can be confident that you're going to get a good knock around. And there's always people of different abilities, and I saw a guy up there yesterday, a new guy, just joined, and, sort of treasurer walked up to him and just introduced him and just said, "Hi, I'm on a committee, if you need anything and anything." I think, wow, that's good.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
So we try to welcome people. And I would say that it's a massive mixed age group up there, as members. We've got lots of people in their early mid-20s, and we've got probably an equal amount in their 70s and dare I say it, probably early 80s.
You might be in trouble again.
But I'm really sorry if I got that bit wrong.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But no, it's a really good club.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you so much for talking about the tennis club.
You're welcome.
I think it's important that people are aware that it's there.
Yeah.
And now they do know, go along and have a go.
Queue up and come along.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on that website.
No,
but at the same time, thank you for what you're doing. You're raising the profile of Broadstairs, raising the profile of our club, and wish you well with this.
No, I mean, you know,
do.
I'm just pleased to be able to stick a little thing out there just to promote what we have here.
It all counts.
Which people don't even realise.
No.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
Peter, thank you so much. And really enjoyed our chat.
Welcome.
So, and
you're very welcome.
Are you playing today?
Yeah, playing at 6 o'clock tonight. Although I've got to go and see a man about a tree first.
Oh, have you? Right. Well, I'll leave you to your tree.
Yeah.
So,
But,
thanks very
6
much.
o'clock. Yeah.
Cheers, Peter. Thank you for listening to Broadstairs Live today. You can follow us on various social media platforms and also podcast platforms. Thank you again.